We'll go. All right. Hi, guys. So we are entering a new world, and I am so excited for everyone to hear directly from Kaylee. I've had the honor of working with her as a client of hers with these products over the last couple months. And I can tell you that everything I have tried, I have loved. Everything I've seen from the company has been amazing. And, while I wouldn't have necessarily felt myself going into this path, I feel like this was exactly where I was meant to be. And as I started just researching things more yesterday and learning more about all the other products that I hadn't tried yet, I have just got more and more excited. Like every person I talk to, I feel like you need this. Here is why. And I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm like coming up as I'm yelling, but that's not it. I'm just so excited. And it feels good. And now I'm like, now everyone else gets to understand exactly the amazingness of the company and understand a little bit more here from Kaylee, like the power of all these products. She has such an incredible way of transferring all of her knowledge into a way that you're like, oh my gosh, like I see why that supplement's so good. And I hear you, I need it too. So I'll let you take it away, Kaylee. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop it in the chat as we go, and we can hit those up at the end.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to talk to you guys. And for anyone who doesn't really know me or know my background, I am a certified holistic health coach. I'm certified through the International Practitioners of Holistic Medicine, as well as the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I've been a practicing health coach for over 16 years. And for the last 3 years, I've really specialized in perimenopause and menopause, which essentially is hormone health. And before I dive into a little more about Hugh and Grace, I just think it's relevant to where you guys are at to share how I ended up here as well. So I was a coach with Beachbody for many years. And about 3 years ago, I started to notice a trend that my clients weren't getting the results that they had once got. They were doing the programming, they were following the nutrition, they were taking the supplements, and they were just really plateauing and not feeling their best. And as a health coach, I really started to dig in. I started to go back into my coursework. I started to dig further into like our phase of life. Like most of my client base, I'm 47. I'm in menopause. Most of my clients were deep into perimenopause. And I realized, I actually hadn't been using our supplements for a long time. Personally, like I just know my body and I knew that they weren't really working for me. I had been turning all of our workout programs into hybrid calendars. It's actually something I was known for as a Beachbody coach. The reason I was making hybrid calendars was to work with my body and with my cycles, and because the intensity of a lot of the programming was leaving me super inflamed and puffy and bloated. And so I found that I was changing everything for myself, but I wasn't changing it for my clients. And so it was about a year and a half ago that I made the decision to part ways with Beachbody and to just pursue my private practice full time. And I created a perimenopause course, and that's where I was working on. And I started getting asked to speak at some different events. And so I was actually introduced to Sarah Jensen, the CEO of Hugh and Grace, and she invited me to speak at their annual conference on cycle syncing and perimenopause and lifestyle shifts for basically hormone health. As part of that, they sent me a gift box of a sampling of all of their products. And I am a research nut. I will not put anything in my body that I haven't really researched. And so I started researching their products, and I was like, wow, this is some real good science. Like I was sort of blown away, and I started asking questions, and they sent me calls from their formulators about how they created the products and why they chose the ingredients they chose. Not just what was in it, but also what was not in it that normally would be in those products. And it all just came together to make so much sense for me. They were addressing all of my checkpoints. They were reducing toxic load by a commitment to zero endocrine disrupting chemicals. In an industry where there's no regulation, they were doing third-party testing at multiple levels and actually making the tests available publicly so we could see the results for ourselves, like creating transparency that doesn't exist in the industry. They were focused on gut health, liver support, two main foundations, as well as nervous system regulation and blood sugar balancing. So all the science made so much sense to me. I started trying the products, and within the first month, I was like calling them up. How do I get more? And they're like, well, we can set you up a customer account. I'm like, yes, please put me on subscription. So I've personally been using the products since July of last year. I didn't become an advocate until November. So I haven't even been an advocate for a year. But it was after I went and spoke at their conference, I was sitting in the room and I heard all of these advocates sharing their success stories from a health perspective, but also from a business perspective. And I saw women from like 20 to 70 building meaningful incomes here and doing it in such unique ways. The compensation plan, when they presented it, like Megan knows this, when we were at Beachbody, she's great at numbers. And she's like one of two people that I know that can really explain the compensation plan at Beachbody. I never could. I was like, I'm just going to show up and do my work and like, great, I hope there's a paycheck. I can actually explain this compensation plan. I understand it. It's very simple. It makes sense to me. You can make money here, whether you're someone who's just really good at like sharing your story and sharing some products and giving people a link, or you're really great at building a team, whether you like to do like in-person events, or you know people who own gyms, or you're a social media influencer. Like, it is structured in a way that it meets you where you're at. And it's so modern and fresh. And that was the thing that made me decide to sign up as an advocate, because I was really tired of watching my team struggle to win and seeing people work so hard to have incomes go backwards instead of forwards, to see people put in the effort to hit diamond or 2-star diamond and have cycle bonuses of $18 or an $80 check where their reward didn't match the effort. And so I wasn't interested in being part of network marketing again because I didn't want to be part of that. And it's so different here. And the last 10 months have proven that. So that was how I ended up being here for 10 months. I had all the fears and all the doubts. I had all the panic attacks in my first couple of months. Like, did I make the right decision? Is this the right thing to do? You know, it does take a little like effort. It's kind of like you have to, I picture like Karate Kid, you guys know, when he has to push the car with his mom and they're like running to get it started, but then it starts to take off and then it goes on its own. It's like maybe if you've been in this space for a while and you're already on cruise control, you've forgotten that beginning part a little bit, that it does take a little extra effort. And there are moments where you're going to have doubt and it's going to feel scary, but like trust in the process and just keep having conversations, you know, just keep working towards it. And like, here I am 10 months later, like where I had all those scary, fearful moments in the beginning. And I hit director this month, which I'm the 6th person in the company to do that. And I honestly was never like a top ranker at Beachbody. I really like lived at 2-star. I never went, like I hit 7-star, my highest, but I never held it for very long. So like I've been able to achieve things here that I haven't achieved before. I've been the top salesperson 8 out of the 10 months. I'm number 2 in the company overall right now. So you can recreate yourself too, is what I'm here to say. Like, where whatever you want this to be for you, it can be. So a little bit about the products. I think one of the things that people ask me a lot is like, I don't have any certifications. Like, am I going to be able to share this? And to me, it's the equivalent of like, you didn't have to have a personal training certification to share the value of the workouts at Beachbody. You don't need a hormone health certification or a health coaching certification to share the value of these products either. The way they're designed is simple swaps for things that you're already using on, in, and around your body every single day, but make them hormone healthy, like hormone supportive. So it's just better quality ingredients, you know, what's not in them that's really important. And the girl that I like, her and I go back and forth between number 1 and number 2 in sales. She has 0 certifications. She's 52 and she's just always like, I feel so great. Look how great I look. I stopped using Botox. Like, look how thick my hair is. And she's selling like crazy. And I'm like, let me tell you about the science. Let me talk to you about how this balances your blood sugar. So again, like, you can do it both ways. And I think that's what makes it so special. We all know that the magic is in our relationships. The magic is in our stories. Megan's here because she tried Hydrate Detox to replace her Element and loved it and loved the way it made her feel. And then she got curious to try some other products. And then she tried Triple Boost, and it's her personal experience with the products that's really the reason that you're here. Like, you do have your hormone health certification and you have a passion for that now, but I don't think that you would have been here if you hadn't tried the products personally and had an actual experience with them. We have a 0.05% return rate. So to say that, like, expect your clients to have positive results is like, we can confidently say that. So that not only means you have a lot of client testimonies to share, you're not just dependent on your own stories, but you'll have stories to share. But also, as you're building your business, the fact that the return rate is so small and our subscription rate is so high, our average repurchase is 28 days. So these are very consumable products. Every 28 days, people are running out of their product and they're buying more. So your businesses, you're not replacing people who decided they didn't want to work out anymore, whose lives got busy, or who got bloated from Shakeology, so they stopped drinking it. Like, you're not constantly replacing lost clients. You're literally every month building on a really solid foundation. It's about a 70 to 75% customer retention rate, which is like, I think the industry average is closer to 28% for most strong companies. So we're like knocking it out of the park. We're experiencing like 30% growth month over month right now. So we're in a huge growth phase. We're 3.5 years in. We're beyond the new company phase. We're no longer considered a new business. We're considered established, but we haven't hit our peak yet. The peak growth tends to happen between years 5 and 10. So we're getting in and we're building a solid foundation before we even peak. We have 3 product verticals. Like I said, it's on, in, and around your body. So we have our wellness supplements. Our number 1 selling SKU is our morning routine. I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a second. Number 2 is Hydrate Detox, and number 3 is Triple Boost. We expect Triple Boost to advance to number 1 eventually based on the trajectory it's on. We also have a morning and an evening supplement and collagen. Then we have our skincare line. It's very simple. We have a day serum, a night serum, a cleansing bar, a body oil, a body polish, which is like the scrubs, the little beady things that are lovely scented, and then a cleansing bar. And then we have our home care, which is, we have 1 cleaning concentrate, beautiful glass bottles that it comes with, and reusable paper towels. So I'm going to focus a little bit more heavily on the supplement line, because in my experience, we've been in the health and fitness space. This is what resonates with our existing audiences. And for me, I haven't had to talk much about skincare or the cleaning products. People are so impressed with the supplements that they just end up going and purchasing those to try on their own. They're like, what else does Hugh and Grace have to offer? So most of my clients are using the skincare now, but not because I did much to talk about it or sell it. So Hydrate Detox is our electrolyte and detoxification. It supports the body systems that create foundational health. So it's daily balanced electrolytes with magnesium, magnesium citrate, potassium, and sodium. The people who formulated Hydrate Detox also formulated Element and Liquid IV. In their own words, Liquid IV is designed for 20-somethings with hangovers. It's mostly sugar. Element is designed for people who are like working out 3 or 4 hours a day, like training for marathons, ultra marathoners, losing lots, sweating a lot, really needing to replenish. It's mostly salt. It's too much for day-to-day use by the average person. It creates a lot of bloating and digestive upset because it's hyperhydration. The formulator himself says he drinks Hydrate Detox every day. It's the best product he's ever created. So it's balanced electrolytes. 80% of people are magnesium deficient. Our body's stress response eats up magnesium. If we're not replenishing that on a daily basis, we become deficient in a micronutrient that's required for over 300 bodily processes a day. So imagine people are walking around deficient in this nutrient and they start drinking it every morning. They start having proper signaling. They start having better hormone balance. Magnesium has a direct impact on our nervous system, so they start having better mood. anxiety, all of that kind of regulation. So this is why people are so impressed with it. Then it also helps with regular bowel movements. So if you're not going to the bathroom 1 to 3 times a day, you're not properly getting rid of your toxic load. And that excrement, to be proper, is sitting. It releases gases that make us more bloated, more gassy, damages our gut, it molds, it ferments, and it creates more problems. So this is very gentle. It allows the minerals allow the water to be absorbed into our cells. It works with our liver and our kidneys and our gut to help us have normal bowel movements. No, like, I've never heard someone urgently needing to go to the bathroom. It's not like that. It's just that normal support that most of us don't have. When we're deficient in potassium, these little tiny muscle contractions that have to happen to move our waste through the digestive system don't happen. And so we have slow motility. And that means we're not emptying our bowels regularly. So just having adequate potassium, it's supporting the systems. It's giving them the things that are missing. So that helps us to detox as well, which means we're detoxing a lot of the xenoestrogens, false estrogens that we take in every single day from food, air, water, soil, our beauty products, our perfumes, our candles, our room sprays, all of those things. That's, we're getting that out, reducing our toxic load. Then it has D111, which is one of the most studied probiotics on the market. It not only starts to repopulate in our gut within 4 hours, which means it increases our good bacteria, decreases our bad bacteria. It also acts as a digestive enzyme. So it helps us properly break down fats, carbs, and proteins into their usable parts, so we get better nutrient absorption. And then the hero ingredient for me is called glutathione. This is our master antioxidant. We have it in our body, but it starts to decrease as we age. People actually get this in IVs for $300 a month. It makes your skin glow because it works with the bile from your liver to bind up toxins and help them to be flushed out of your body. As you reduce your toxic load, you see that show up on your face, in your circles, in your bags, in your inflammation, in your dark spots, like your body is able to, it empties the bucket. So you have more room for your body to work on other toxins getting detoxed out. Glutathione is so amazing for cellular repair. So like as our cells age, they start to get damaged by free radicals and things like that, even from exercise. And if the cell can't be repaired, it's a dead cell, it needs to be flushed out of our body. Glutathione either helps to repair the cell. If it can't be repaired, it basically marks it to be flushed. So it helps reduce those, they call them zombie cells, the amount of zombie cells that we have floating around in our body, which age us a lot faster. So Hydrate Detox is like a really cool product. You shouldn't need an additional digestive enzyme, especially if you have like a decently healthy gut. If you're already using a digestive enzyme, you might slowly taper yourself off as you start to take Hydrate Detox, like maybe use it for 1 or 2 fewer meals a day until you eventually just wean yourself off of it. And then we have our collagen. I don't normally use collagen or recommend it to my clients because most collagens are full of garbage and really not great for us ingredients, and they don't really do the job that they say they do. But this collagen is, again, highly researched, single ingredient, Japanese cod, literally the only thing in it. Doesn't taste like fish, doesn't smell like fish. It's a powder. It dissolves in hot or cold liquid. You can't taste it, you can't see it, you can't smell it. It's types 1, 2, and 3, so hair, skin, and nails, but also our internal tissues, our joints, our ligaments, our gut lining, our arteries, our pelvic floor, our cervix area. When we start to see the skin out here thinning, the same thing is happening on the inside. As our estrogen level starts to decline, so does our collagen production. So as we head into perimenopause and menopause, if we are like, basically, they talk about it in the skincare education. It's like having a sturdy box spring. If your box spring is collapsed, it shows up in how your sheets lay on your bed, right? So this collagen is like getting that sturdy, strong box spring. So not just for this tissue, but also for our internal tissues. We have an AM and PM supplement. Our AM supplement is focused on supporting liver health and regeneration, blood sugar balancing, and energy, mental clarity. Our PM supplement is focused on daily like reduction of anxiety and sleep support. So it's magnesium glycinate, L-theanine, lemon balm. No melatonin, because melatonin is a hormone. We want our body to make its own hormones. We want to give it the right resources so it can do that, but we don't want to give it the hormones. These products can be used for the whole family. So my kids use the night supplement, my kids use the day supplement, they drink Hydrate Detox. The only thing they don't use is the collagen because they're teenagers and they don't need it yet. Triple Boost is our protein and hormone support. So it's 3 forms of highly digestible plant protein: Canadian pea protein, pumpkin seed protein, and blue spirulina. The fact that the protein is Canadian pea protein is important because most pea proteins, they do not have very high growing standards, testing standards, and they're sent to China for the protein to be extracted with solvents and then sent back here. Canadian pea protein is grown in Canada. It has very rigorous growing and testing standards, and it's only extracted, the protein's only extracted using a water bath. So it's highly digestible, no inflammation, no gas and bloating, no chalkiness. It blends really nicely. Like I put it in my coffee. Most protein powders will leave like muddy water at the bottom that's thick. This is totally dissolved. It has all 9 essential amino acids. It has all of your BCAAs. The pumpkin seed protein has your omega-3s, essential fatty acids, very nutrient dense, zinc, magnesium, amino acid tryptophan, which converts to serotonin and melatonin for mood and sleep. And then the blue spirulina has 210% of our daily vitamin B12. It's methylated, which means it's the form our bodies can use. B12, when you have more than your body needs, you just pee it out. So you don't have to be concerned about your levels being too high. The phycocyanin is in blue spirulina. That's what makes it blue. That's what makes the protein drink blue. But it also helps to bind up heavy metals so they can be flushed out of your body. So this is like, it's supporting your gut health. Spirulina feeds our good gut bacteria. It's a source of food for them. It reduces your heavy metals. As we reduce our heavy metals, we improve our body's ability to get rid of parasites because parasites hide in the heavy metals from our immune system. So that's actually pretty cool too. And then you're getting like that 20 grams of protein. So gut health, liver support, detoxification, blood sugar balancing by taking in these highly digestible forms of protein in 20 grams at a time. So like really just really intelligently designed products. I won't go like all into the skincare and the home care. I think the most important thing to know is the routines for the skincare are 2 to 3 steps, depending on what you decide to use. It takes like literally 3 minutes. So what I find is people get amazing results because they're more consistent. It's way more affordable than what I was using before on my perimenopausal skin. It protects your skin's microbiome and it doesn't break down your moisture barrier. So most people, when they have acne and they're very oily, it's because their products are too harsh, the pH is off, and it's breaking down the moisture barrier. And then from inside, the body's like, I got to replace the moisture barrier because that's what's protecting. This is an organ. It's a protective organ. It keeps out viruses and bacterias. And so it pushes that out. It overproduces sebum. So that's just like a little fact about it. I will say like at 47, my skin is healed so much. Once you try it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It takes about 60 days for your skin cells to turn over though. So thank you, Megan. So give it like 60 days because, you know, skincare, like your skin has to turn over. The day serum is protective. The night serum is restorative. Can I share my screen and give you guys a quick glimpse of the compensation plan? And if you guys have any questions about the products while I pull that up, like if you want to unmute or if you want to type them in the chat.
No, that was also helpful. I feel like, you can look at it and read it and be like, this sounds cool, but to hear your explanation, just understanding how each individual ingredient within each of those supplements was like so purposefully put there to be able to benefit you in these maximum ways. Like I just find that incredible. And you say it so beautifully.
And you guys will learn that too, and again, you don't have to be able to explain it the way I do. I create little short videos that explain it. Like I give those out to my team. We have a really amazing thing. Once you're signed up as an advocate, it's called the Knowledge Center. So within the Knowledge Center, when you first sign up, there's 6 modules. It'll walk you through like, what is Hugh and Grace? Details on all the products, like how do I get paid? We have retail, affiliate, and advocate options here. So they'll give you all the details on each of those if you have someone who's interested in one of them. It's very simple and straightforward. You don't have to create an onboarding system. It's there. It exists in your office. I also personally have already created like email, email workflows for all the product lines and for new advocates. I will share those with Megan, and I'm sure she'll share them with you guys if you decide to join, and you can, redo them, put them in your voice, add your own photos and whatever. But they're really fantastic about education here. And one of the reasons they chose this business model is because they understand that people don't know what they don't know. And so we're like here to invite them in to say like, this could help you feel better. And this is why. They do a lot of master classes and things like that. So you can learn. And what I always tell my team is like, look for the one soundbite that resonates with you. That's the soundbite that's going to resonate with your audience. You don't have to explain the science 17 levels deep. Just hit that soundbite. And to show you the compensation plan, so we're used to the 2 legs. Here we're unilevel, which just means like, for example, Megan enrolls under me, so I'm A, Megan's B, you would be E. So you never have to think about balancing volumes or balancing out legs. You don't have to think about where to place anybody. Like it's just, if you sign them up, they're your level 1. If that person you signed up signs someone up, they're your level 2, and so on. And it just goes down. So you will never leave money on the table here. If you sell something, you get paid on it. There's no like, well, I had this much volume on this leg and this much here. They didn't match up, so I didn't get paid on this 4,000 in volume. Like that doesn't happen. Like you sell it, you get paid. So commissions on customer sales are calculated Monday to Sunday of each week, and you get paid out the following Friday. So like today, I got paid for all of last week's customer sales. Then on the 10th of the month, we get paid for the previous month's team volume. So I get paid on my sales every Friday. I get paid all of the monthly bonuses and my team volumes on the 10th of the following month. So we essentially get paid like 5 to 6 times a month, depending on how many Fridays fall in that month. Once you've sold your first $50, you'll get an email from PayQuicker. That's the company that we get our payments through. They'll just ask you to fill out your 1099 form. They'll get your address and all that. You can attach your bank account there. So every time you get paid, they deposit it into PayQuicker. You get a debit card that goes with that. So you can either use that card to access your money, or you can just transfer it to your bank. So that's pretty straightforward. This is our compensation plan. Let me try to make it a little bit bigger. So first of all, coming in, I like to explain the personal sales income to everyone, because you could build a really thriving business here without ever signing another advocate. So everyone earns 25% on customers and subscriptions. So when someone's your customer, they're your customer for life. If they put it on subscription and they're with you for 10 years, you get paid on them for 10 years. There's no like, oh, in 6 months, if they don't go through your link again, you lose them. That doesn't happen here. They stay your customer. So you earn 25% commission to start out. Your first $500 to $999 in sales, when you're in that range, they'll also give you a $50 product credit to spend on whatever you want at Hugh and Grace each month that you hit this rank, or this volume, sorry. Once you go over 1,000, your percent paid, it goes from 25 to 30, and you get $75 in product credit. Once you go over 2,000, you get a 10% bonus. So now you're getting paid 35% on your customers. And that goes all the way up to 10,000. You can get paid up to 40%. So this is where I'm sitting after it took me 8 months to get to this personally. Customer sales is where I thrive. I'm not as big of like a team builder, but I'm customer sales. So I'm making 40% on my customer sales every week, and I get a $200 product credit every single month added to my account to purchase whatever I want. So, I mean, if you have someone who's got like a big newsletter, a big social media following, a big client base, this is really relevant because they never have to build a team and they can be earning 40% commission on everything that they sell every single month. Or even someone who sits at 2,000 to 3,000, like 35% commission is well above the industry standard for affiliates. Once you start to look at building a team, you come down to this piece of the compensation plan. So coming in, I tell everyone like SAV in 1,000 are kind of like that first foundational goal where you want to aim for because you bump up your commission to 30%, you get a $75 product credit. And as an SAV, you really only need 800 in sales total. That can be your purchases, your sales, and any of your team member sales combined to get that total. And then your personal volume, PV is what you sell and what you sell to your, I'm sorry, what you buy and what you sell to customers. OV is what your team sells. So your personal sales do count in OV though. So technically, if you look at that, you need 500 more beyond what you do personally to hit that rank. So anyone you have underneath you, like if you are at this, if Megan's senior advocate and she has Brittany, then she's going to get paid 9% on Brittany's sales, as long as Brittany's active. So that's kind of how it works. And you open up more of the compensation plan as you rank advance. The most you ever have to do personally, even at the highest level, is 600. That can be personal orders or customer sales. The most number of advocates, working advocates you ever need to hit the highest rank is 4. So it's very different from Beachbody where it was like you could have second legs and 15 star and all of that. Like it's just much simpler and you don't have to build as big of teams to get to these ranks. If you have 4 people who are really working their business, that's all you need to hit the highest rank and it maximizes the compensation plan. The other thing I think that's interesting is, for example, say I enrolled Megan and Megan enrolled Caitlin and Caitlin just came in and blew it up. So Megan's SAV, but Caitlin's senior mentor. Caitlin would actually qualify me as a senior mentor. So like if I needed a senior mentor to be AMG, Caitlin, even though I didn't enroll her, she would count for me because she outranked Megan. So like Megan still counts for me as an SAV, but the fact that someone in my downline has hit that rank, you don't need like when we had like a diamond buried and they couldn't qualify you unless the person above them quit. It's not like that here. So if someone on your team is just really thriving, they can qualify you and the person above them doesn't need to quit. They can still, so it's really actually nice because maybe Megan's goal is really just like, I want to sell 1,000 a month. I want to get that 30%. I want to make a couple $100. But Megan enrolls someone who's like, I'm going for it and I want to be executive director. Like, that's great because Megan can do her thing and Caitlin can do her thing and everyone wins and no one needs to pressure anyone to be going to do something that's not what they want to do just because of where they're placed in your downline, which I think is just really nice. And then this is something that is offered your first 3 full months as an advocate. It's called your boost period. So if you signed up today, November, December, and January would be your first 3 full months, plus you would get the bonus of October because October's already started. So for every 5 customers who order $75 or more, they're going to give you a $50 bonus. There's no cap. So if you like go through your list of people and you're like, oh, I think I've got, 15 people who want to try Hydrate Detox, that's a $150 bonus. For every 2 active advocates that you enroll when they're new, and to be active, you have to place a $100 order or sell $100 worth of product. So for every 2, you get a $100 bonus. And again, there's no cap and those roll over. So say in October, you sign 1 advocate and then in November, you sign an advocate, you get the $100. Each boost month that you hit that SAV rank, so just reminding you that's 300 in personal volume, and 800 in organizational. You don't even have to have a team member to hit that. But each month that you hit that title, you get another $100 bonus. So that's $300 on the line for your full boost period. If you advance to mentor in any of those months, that's another $200 bonus. So there's actually a lot of extra income on the line in your first 3 months that incentivizes you to come in and just build that foundation, you know. And then after that, it's like you've got that running start. And just so you can see what mentor is, mentor's $400 in personal sales. Your team is producing 1,500, and that's the first rank where you need a team member. Your team member needs to be an associate advocate, which is 200 in personal volume and 500 in organizational volume. So that's the mentor rank to get this $200 bonus. And then just really quickly, they do offer a growth and consistency bonus. So if you're paid as your lifetime rank or one rank below, and you enroll a minimum of 2 either customers, advocates, affiliates, or retail accounts, or a combination of those, just 2, then these are the bonuses that you get. So if your rank, it starts at senior mentor. So if your rank is senior mentor, you get a $250 bonus. Associate manager, it's 500. Like in September, I hit director, so I got $1,500 just for my rank. This month, if I'm a director or a senior manager, I will get paid my bonus of either 1,500 or 750. So as long as you don't drop more than 1 rank, you get paid your bonus, which is really great. That's monthly. That's every single month. So every month that you hold your rank, you're getting a bonus. And then they also do the shared leadership pool, very similar to Beachbody's. They take 3% of the total company commissionable volume. They divide it up by the number of people who hit that rank starting at senior mentor. And then this is the shares that you get. And just to show you guys, senior mentor is, you have 3 people who hit this basic rank of SAV. And as a team, you're producing 6,000 in volume. As an individual, you're selling 600. And then really quickly, I'll just mention, we do an annual trip. It's similar to the Success Club trip. It goes off of points. It's usually points. It's basically points per dollar. So for every, it's like, say you sell something for $200 this month, that's 200 points. But they put it on subscription. Every time it processes on subscription, it's 1.5 points. So next month it would be 300 points. And the next month it'd be 300 points. And the next month it'd be 300 points. So you can earn points off the same person over and over and over again. You get points for rank advancing. This is the point system all listed here, but 6,000 points is the minimum to earn the trip. You can also earn a guest. You can earn your airfare for yourself. You can earn airfare for your guest. You can earn $300 room credits towards massages, food, whatever you want to put that towards. And we're going to Puerto Rico in April. September was the first month to start qualifying, and we had 25 people qualify already for that for the trip. And we're going to Puerto Rico. So I know that was kind of like hitting you guys with a fire hose of all the basic information. So I'm here for questions. Let me see. Sylvia said I only heard 5 minutes of the products. I'm so excited. Yeah, you like listen to the formulator calls. If anybody like goes on walks every day, like Megan and I do, I would just put my like headphones on and I would listen to the formulator calls. And a lot of times what I would do when I'm sharing on social media, especially in the beginning, was I would just like film my normal B-roll of myself using the product, but then I would put the recording of like something that the formulator said over it. I would let them explain it while I was taking all the information in and understanding it. And so that's something I've taught my teams to do that has worked really well for them, because they don't have to like pretend to be the expert. Oh, camera or Zoom really like that. They don't have to pretend to be the expert where you feel like kind of imposter syndrome. Like, am I saying this right? Am I communicating it right? You can literally just have your video and then record those experts explaining the products over it. When I put it in my coffee, I'm using it hot. So I know at Beachbody, we were taught with Shakeology that we couldn't heat it because it degraded the protein in the product. We specifically asked the formulator, and heat does not destroy this product. So you can put it in hot coffee as well as cold. It does dissolve in both. Oh, Sylvia, you couldn't see what I was showing. Did my screen not show up for you guys?
I could see it when you were
I could
sharing the
see it.
screen.
Okay, good. I was like, oh no, there's a whole
Yeah,
recording
no,
of
I
me
could
just
see it.
talking
You're good.
away with
Not
nothing.
sure why, Sylvia, you couldn't, but I don't know if you're on a phone maybe, and maybe it's different, but I could see it.
Okay, Brittany, good question. So there is a one-time advocate enrollment fee that's normally $45. And if when you look at the advocate enrollment page, which is actually really easy, it's just one simple page, they have enrollment packs, which you can choose from, and the enrollment fee is added into that. And right now, until October 15th, you can use the code day1, the number one, and if you use an enrollment pack, they'll take $44 off of that enrollment fee. So you basically get it for $1. If you want to like mix and match and just create your own, you can do that. So then you would put the $45 advocate enrollment into the cart, and then you would add whatever products you want. The day one only works on the enrollment packs. But those are your two options. There's no monthly fee or business fee or anything like that.
Okay, and sorry, so since we're all Beachbody here, right? So it's just similar to like a total solution pack where you're getting products that you're going to use.
Yes.
By doing that, you're going to get that business fee almost waived.
Yes, for $1.
Like you're still buying stuff that you would use. It's not like you're like putting out money to start a business.
Exactly. You would just literally just be investing in whatever products you want to try, and they have all different packs. I like if I had to make a recommendation just for this specific audience, there is a morning routine pack that's the Hydrate Detox, the AM supplement, and Triple Boost. Those are, first of all, my three favorite products anyways, that I normally recommend, but also because you guys have been in the fitness and wellness, health and wellness space, I feel like those would be the ones that are probably going to be the most relatable to your existing audiences and clients.
Yeah, and I'll just share with you guys because obviously, I mean, I was using the products for a couple months, so I have a little head start, kind of unintentionally. But what I have found, like a very common question people are asking me, they're like, "Well, how does this fit into your routine now? Like, are you still using like the Beachbody products?" And they're just different products. Like Shakeology and Triple Boost don't compare. Energize doesn't have like there's not a pre-workout or anything caffeine related. They don't compare. So what I looked at it as I have always used a probiotic. So I use the Hydrate Detox as a pre and probiotic blend. As Kaylee said, I was someone who was big on Element. And when she helped me understand the difference between Element versus the Hydrate Detox, I was like, oh, well, that makes way more sense. So it was like, now I've got like what was my Element packed in Hydrate Detox and what was my probiotic and prebiotic packed in Hydrate Detox. And then the glutathione was like master ingredient that I'd heard of, but never actually supplemented with. So it was like I was kind of getting so much more packed into that one thing. And similarly with like the nighttime, I shared with people that as I'm like having these conversations over the last couple of days, I used to take melatonin every night before bed. Embarrassingly enough, I took it every single night. Slept great, never really felt rested, but I took melatonin. I was doing, just my own hormone research and came across the fact that melatonin was a hormone, which I didn't know. Very well educated, I think, in that health and wellness space. And I had no idea that melatonin was a hormone that my body was supposed to be making naturally, that I feel like I'm hindering that natural process. So by adding in that nighttime supplement, it was like, oh, well, I can get rid of this, but I can do this in a healthier way and give my body the L-theanine that, again, I've heard that word over and over, never used it. So I'm like, oh, well, now I'm getting this and I'm getting this magnesium. So I felt like it was these products are things that are going to support your overall wellness, but in a completely different way than Beachbody. But in my head, I'm like, a lot of you're working out, you're eating healthy, you care about quality, right? So this takes it a step further that not only are you getting top that quality, but you're getting products that were all designed with that intention to support your hormone health, which as we get older is happening. Everything changes. We can't avoid that, but we can change how we react to those changes, which this is all like so wrapped around. I feel like that was kind of like how I've been taking the conversations with people. Like it's different than starting out your day with these other products. And then the last thing I want to say on that is I used to always wake up and drink Energize, right? Empty stomach first thing in the morning. And I heard forever about caffeine, empty stomach spikes your cortisol. And I'm like, I don't care. I like Energize. So I'm going to get up, I'm going to drink Energize, I'm going to work out. But I heard it over and over again. And it was one of those like, if I, you know better, you do better. And I'm like, how many times am I going to listen to something that's telling me you're straight up spiking your cortisol upon opening your eyelids before I'm like, if my whole goal is to live a healthier life, why am I doing that? So I used Hydrate Detox as a way to get up and do something different. So like to help me change that bad habit that wasn't serving me anymore. So that went in there and I do still drink Energize. I just don't drink it first thing on an empty stomach. And then, I make my breakfast and drink it then. So I think, it's going to be, I don't know, Kaylee, if you have tips for them as far as like, getting started, but then it's like, if you want to get out of the gate, you're going to wait a week for your products to arrive. Like, what would they do to start talking to people about what it is when they don't have the couple months of experience? I mean, obviously you did an awesome job sharing the like purpose behind all of these ingredients and these supplements, but I feel like that might be like the hurdle that people are going to run into just to get like up and running.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So I think a couple things that you could do is number one, I would start by thinking about, just like Megan just gave us that great example of like, what are some habits or some symptoms that she's struggling with that she would like to improve? What are some supplements she's already using every single day that these actually replace? So you would look at like, oh, I recently learned that starting my day with a huge dose of caffeine is not good. But if I hydrate first and I take in protein first, I can actually minimize that cortisol spike, which is also going to stabilize your blood sugar. So I am going to give this a try because people that I trust have shared it with me. Like, this is what I'm learning and I'm ready to try it. So I would start talking about symptoms and I would start polling people like, do you start your day with caffeine? Do you eat breakfast before you work out? Because we know now from they finally studied women's bodies, and working out fasted does not work for the female body. So it's not that fasting is bad, but women need to do it differently. Like if we're going to fast, we want to stop eating at like 6 p.m. and eat by 8 or 10, and make sure we eat before we work out. So like we know it for a fact now that working out fasted spikes our blood sugar. It makes us more sensitive to the next meal that we do have. We know for a fact that women can't lift as heavy, that their endurance goes down, that they're not getting the same results from their workout. So like we think like we feel great, but we actually just don't know how good we could be feeling if we were fueling. So it's starting to think about like some of those factors. So what like things that I did were polling my audience about my own bad habits, things that I was learning, what I was going to shift. And I was talking about how I was feeling, why I was looking at making these shifts. This is where the formulator calls can come in so handy. So if you get signed up as an advocate, you'll get access to those and you can start listening to them and you can start using quotes and clips and things from that. This is why I'm excited to try this product. I can't wait for it to get here. Here's what I'm hoping to accomplish. And you start to find your people who relate, to have the same habits and the same symptoms. And, at least start collecting email addresses. Like, I'm going to share my journey as I try this. Like, do you want to follow along? I'm going to put it in a newsletter, or I'm going to do a live in Facebook every week. However you like, whatever's your jam, however you do that. That's what I would start doing. I would also kind of do what Megan and I both talked about that we've done from the beginning is I started reaching out to my clients and customers and talking about what I was learning and asking them about like, these are the changes that are happening. Like, this is how old I am. This is what I'm working on in my health journey. Tell me where you're at. Like, how are things going for you? Okay, here's what I'm going to be doing. Here's what I'm going to be trying. Like, do you want to hop on the phone for 5 minutes? I would love to talk to you more about it. And get people trying it with you. Like, if you normally are used to running groups, I don't run groups here anymore. But in the beginning, I did have a Facebook group where I was like, this is what I'm going to be trying. This is what I'm going to be doing. do you want to come here and learn about this with me? I did it for like my first 60 days, but then I didn't maintain groups. I just check in with my clients once a month. I do a weekly newsletter, and like the products just work. Like if you think about it, like if you go and you get vitamin D from Thorne, like no one's running a group for you to learn how to use your vitamin D. Or like, when you order whatever skincare, Dime or whatever you use, like they're not running a group to like teach you to be accountable to use your skincare. Like if you enjoy doing that and you have the space for it and you want to, that's great. But it hasn't been necessary here to keep people engaged in using the products. They're engaged because they love them.
I love that. I'm still like kind of toying with what I want to do. Do I want to do a group, or do I want to say for 10 and a half years, I have been tied to a Facebook group every day, and maybe I want to let that chill for a bit and, support my clients, with emails, and, I do a lot of one-on-one check-in anyways. So it's definitely like has my wheel spinning on, just especially as like my kids are older and we're busy, the ability to be able to like not have like, oh my gosh, I have to check in with my clients this evening. Like feel like it's a little bit more freeing, a little bit more time friendly.
I'll give you guys two other suggestions for things that can help you get conversations going. One, if you're using a lot of supplements right now, I would like, first of all, I wish I had done this. I like threw all my supplements away. Like after I started using the routine every day, I'm like, why did I not like take pictures and record all that? Because it's such a good before and after. I would start showing people what you're using right now and talking about like, it's a lot to remember. Like I'm taking this before meals, and this is after meals, and this is before bedtime, and here's what I'm doing right now. And I'm really trying to simplify this routine, and like and then ask them like, how many supplements do you take right now? Put up a poll, like 1 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 or more. Find out like from your audience, how many supplements are they taking right now? And then you can have conversations with them and you can ask them what they are. Megan knows this. This is a part of the way that we connected about all of this, but you don't have to be a hormone expert to run a book club. So this worked really well for some of my new advocates when they were coming in. We had them use this book and just run a book club. And so they literally were like, you're just the facilitator. So just they would like let people know, we're going to start on this day. We're going to read this book together. We're going to pop. You can either do a call and talk about it, or you could have it be a Facebook group, or however you want to do it. And then like where appropriate, you can talk about, she talks about magnesium in here. She talks about the parts of protein. So she talks about magnesium glycinate, which is in our nighttime supplement. So it's just a way, like if you want to start connecting with people more about hormones, but that's not your area of expertise, you could use a book or something like that as a guide to create community and conversation.
Yeah, and that's definitely something I'm open to leading to, just because that's how I got my first connection to Kaylee, was through that book club, because I was just interested in learning. And I remember like I paid $25 to join a book club, and I was like, well, I'm going to show up. And there were calls at different times every week, and I got on every call when she sent these little questionnaires out. Before I did them all, it like forced me to stay on top of reading the book. But I learned so much information. Like I cannot tell you how many like people just through conversations I have recommended that book to. Like, no joke, like at least 50 people just through conversation that had nothing to do with me being connected to a hormone health company. It was that as people would share things with me, I'm like, you just need to go read this book. But how many books do you buy and then you never actually read them because nobody's, again, holding you accountable? So I do feel like that helped me. That got me like, no, why do I need magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate? And why do I need, like, it was so well done. So I actually like that you brought that back up, because I feel like that would be a really good thing to kind of use as a way for people to come together for it. Like I've now gone through it with you, so I'd be able to lead it, and then to be able to have, something so simple like we all read the book, we all learn, and we invite other people to learn.
And and charging for it was like a twofold. Number one, like Megan said, it gave people a lot more skin in the game, and they really showed. We had like 50 people showing up for the calls,
I
And
wouldn't have shown up if I didn't pay.
yeah, it's like you show up because you paid. But also for a lot of the people who are coming in as new advocates, we put $5 from the $25 fee into a pot, and we did a Hugh and Grace product giveaway at the end. But the other $20, the person who invited that person, like if if Kim enrolled the person, Kim would get the $20. So we tracked it all in an Excel spreadsheet. And so like we paid people out for bringing people onto the call. And that was just a way for also our newer advocates to have a little bit of money coming in right away while they were educating and building their communities, and for us to like give back and help support them in their new business.
I love that. Obviously, I didn't know that side of it, but I like that.
I have one more question. Sorry, I don't want to take too long, but
Ask it.
so I'm interested in this rewards trip, right?
Yeah.
So is that something, again, because I'm coming from the body aspect of it, is it something where you have to pay a deposit up front, and if you don't meet a certain quota, you pay the difference, or is it a complete rewards trip?
It's a complete rewards trip. It's so different. So you don't have to pay any kind of deposit. There's just a tracker in your back office. It'll show you every day where your points are at and how much more you need to get there. They usually do some kind of monthly incentive to give you extra bonus points. Like last month when we introduced Triple Boost for the first time, if you sold it to 5 people, they gave you an extra 500 points. It's very earnable at 6,000 is the baseline to come in. You would have to still buy your flight at that level, but the fact that you can also earn your flight is pretty phenomenal. And it's very different when you get there. The whole thing is just a vacation. There's no meetings, there's no workouts, but you can work out if you want. Like it's your time to do whatever you want. There's literally no schedule. They do feed us. There were like last year we went to Maui, and there was a kickoff dinner and a close-in dinner. And other than that, it was just enjoy yourself, have fun, do whatever you want. It's your reward.
Yeah. What was the name of that intro package you suggested that we try?
It's called
the routine, because I just sent it to someone.
Thank you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Because
think
there's two. There's the routine with Triple Boost, and then there's the routine with collagen.
yes.
So it says the routine. Also, I can send you the link for it,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
just send it over to you. But it's called the routine, and then you've got two. There's the one with the hydrate detox and Triple Boost in the AM, and then the hydrate detox with, and then the other one, the collagen, then has AM and PM, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I think so. I think so. But yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, and it'll say, I think like it says it's $175, but remember 44 of that will come off with the day 1 coupon code.
Any other questions?
The last couple things, let me just say to clarify, because someone asked about getting paid, like we do, we banked volume at Beachbody because of the way the 2 legs, to match your volume and all of that. Every month you start fresh. Like every month your rank goes back to advocate, your volume goes back to 0. And so it's just 30-day increments, which I actually sort of enjoy. It's just like, this is my month. What am I going to do with it? What's my goal this month? You do have to be active to earn an income every month. So if you don't purchase $100 worth of product or sell $100 worth of product, you don't get paid. So like someone asked, what if I sold $50, but I didn't buy anything? Well, you wouldn't get paid. So like you do have to establish a baseline for yourself. Like I'm working my business this month, so my minimum goal is to at least sell $100 if I'm not using the product. Like I don't know any advocates that aren't using the product though. So like that $100 is usually pretty easy to achieve. Even if you were just buying hydrate and detox, which is under $100, but you sold one thing, you're gonna hit your $100. It's very foundational. It ensures like discount coaches aren't a thing here because you don't have like the legs and all of that. So they have a program called H&G Insider. If you have your products on subscription, you qualify for it. It means you get discounts on your product and you earn points every time your subscription shipped. And those points add up for gift cards that you can use towards product. And H&G Insiders also get their own unique customer link. So they can share that with someone and that person will get $10 off and they'll get a $10 product credit if they make us, like, if they buy something. Those people stay tied to them. So just to give you an example, like if Megan was a customer and she shared her H&G Insider link, she would get a $10 product credit. The volume would qualify for like my volume, but then if Megan upgraded to become an advocate next month, that person would stay tied to her. So they would become her advocate. So instead of having people just sign up for the discount here, because it does nothing for you, you just lose commission. Like that's literally all that happens. You go from making 25% off of them to making like 9% or 8% off of their volume. So instead I refer people to the H&G Insider program. I'm like, oh, if you're not actually selling, you're not going to be active every month, like this is the better place for you. And if you find that you're referring people and you decide you want to come work a business, those people will stay tied to you and you'll literally come over with a customer base. So that's kind of a unique and cool thing. But just so you understand, like there's really not any value in discount coaches here. And you do have to be active at that $100 to get paid.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I know the one question I had asked over to you as far as like time commitment, like what do you
Yes.
put in on a day? What do other people, I know it's obviously everyone's varies, but like if you were to say someone wants to come in and like I got a question from someone who had been not with Body, but another network marketing company who would like to I want to come in and I want to build a business. So she would have arguably a network already. Like what did you do? I mean, you got to the high, one of the highest ranks in 10 months. So like truly
I
hours.
would say truly like daily, like it's hard to quantify it daily because like you're making your schedule and you're working in the pockets kind of thing. But definitely like the last 10 months, I've worked closer to a full-time schedule. Probably like some weeks where it was 20 hours, some weeks where it was like 35. I don't know that I could honestly say I worked 40 hours any of the weeks. I do feel like that would be a stretch. Sometimes it felt like 40 hours.
Yeah.
It's because you're like also doing all your mom stuff and kid stuff and then like rushing back to take a call. I would say, like a solid 20 hours to get to where I got in the time frame that I got here. I'll also tell you that I can think of two girls off the top of my head. I have one girl, her name's Tara. She does about 1,500 in volume. So she's hitting SAV every month. She's getting those bonuses. She's making 30% instead of 25%. She's getting the product credits. She's going to earn the escape trip. She has a full-time job where she works from home. She has a 4-year-old daughter and she cleans offices on the side. And she's doing that level of volume. She's probably putting in like an hour a day. And then I have another girl that just started, Beth. She was actually with Beachbody for 6 years, never went past Emerald, and she's like a rising star. She has a full-time job. She has 3 kids. She works from home. She works her business, like she posts on social media every day. She has conversations, but she's been doing amazing at doing an event every weekend at like a different gym where she sets up a table. She shares Hydrate Detox. She's signed some like studio owners and some retail customers. She's getting closer to $2,000 in volume every month. She's well on her way to earning the trip. She's just signed her first advocate, so I think she'll hit mentor this month, but she's consistently been SAV, like maximizing her boost. Sold the 5 triple boost last month to get the bonus points. So like, I think it's very doable to actually make a meaningful income, even if you don't have a lot of time to dedicate it to it. And then like my friend Amy and I both hit director last month. She spends 3 hours a day in the car driving from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, where her daughter goes to school. She works from the library during the day while her daughter's at school, goes to the gym and works out, picks her daughter up from school, takes her to eat, takes her to soccer practice, feeds her dinner in the car, and drives home. So she's literally not home the whole day. Like she's completely built a director level business from her phone, from the car, basically, over the last 10 months. So it's not that it's hard, it just takes intention.
Yeah. Cool. I like hearing those.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Okay.
So and I was talking to Megan about this. Is there and maybe you said it and I missed it, like training for how to do this, like build the business. Cause I feel like, before I didn't mind with Beachbody. I just, it didn't care because I'm not selling you a product. We're doing a lifestyle together and I'm teaching you habits that you can use.
Right.
And like, I mean, sure, these are habits too, but it's like, it's a product and that's it. So it's
Yeah.
like, that's a shift just in how we're working, how we're posting, all that. So there's training for that.
Yeah, so we have on our executive team. First of all, does anyone know Craig Collier? He used to be one of the people at Beachbody. He's really amazing. He's on our executive team, so you'll hear from him a lot. But we have a woman named Kelly McVeigh. She is like over all of the advocates and she does all the training. So every week they do Power 30s. They're very different than the ones we did at Beachbody because they're like really unique. And sometimes it's Kelly doing the trainings. Sometimes she has an advocate come on and do it. Like I've done the training, but they're 30-minute work blocks. So they have those multiple times a week. A lot of people build their business solely off of being a part of those. She did a call. I'm trying to think what it was last night. I think it was. Caitlin, I think you just said you were on that call. They did one.
It was about,
Go ahead. What was
it
your?
was about, it was about the events that they do in person.
That's what I was just gonna say. So Kelly is gonna be traveling to a different state every month for like the next, I don't know, she's got 6 months planned out right now. So to a different state every month for 6 months, and she'll be setting up like some kind of like coffee talk or a meeting or whatever there. And all the advocates who are within that area, like that can get there, you can invite to it, you can bring your people. And so she did a training last night on how to leverage that. So they're very engaged with us. If you can get 50 people in a room and you request an event, they'll probably do it for you. But they also have these events scheduled. They have people that do trainings on how to set up the workshops, like what Beth's doing. They have people that do trainings on how to work with retailers. They have an entire retailer folder with like sample scripts if you want to call in, sample emails to send out to people. They have a whole folder of like Amazon links, what to order if you're going to go set up a table at like the farmer's market or something like that. And it's like, here's all the things to order, print these for your signs, do a QR code. Like, so they're really good at giving you all those resources. And our team is really good about that as well. Like, I mean, we do monthly training calls. Like we do monthly calls that you guys can invite to where we train on different hormone related wellness topics. And you guys can invite to those and we record them. My upline, like 2 up from me, is Jamie Shepherd. I don't know if anybody knows her, but she used to be at Beachbody a long time ago. She was a really successful coach there. So like within that, there's like we have an entire Google Drive. There's so many different people building so many different ways. There's pretty much a resource for everything. So if you have an idea and you're like, I need a starting point, I'm sure we can find it for you. So yeah, there are a lot of great resources and they're very proactive in training and education. And Kelly's the kind of person, like you'll have her number. You can send her a message and be like, she's the person that you would call and say like, this is my goal. This is what I need for my family. Like, this is what I was making at Beachbody. I'm panicked. I'm scared. Like, I need to have a plan of action. And she will be like, let's get on a Zoom call. She will make a plan of action with you. Like, she's that person. And she's amazing. You will love her.
Anything else? Great questions, guys. All right. Well, thank you, Kaylee, for your time. I appreciate it. Your time, your amazing knowledge, the way you share everything. Also, like, and I know like Kaylee had already shared with me, like she has a little video that explains triple boost, and she has a video that explains it was the morning routine. So she had shared those with me. I even told Caitlin this already. I've done nothing I don't have a team page for us. I don't have an email set up. I've got nothing because clearly this was flying by the seat of our pants. So all of that will come together and we'll get organized and stuff. I will, as any advocates sign up, I'll share with you those resources that Kaylee has given to me, just because, like I said, some people I explain the triple boost. Again, I've used it, right? Like I can say my words, but sometimes depending on who the person is or just how much time I have, sometimes I've just said, this video, I love it. It tastes, light vanilla tastes amazing, but here's the deal. Listen to this video because it'll help you understand why it is such a valuable asset to your routine. So that's been helpful. So I'll share those things. And I'm just excited. Like that's been my whole thing. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I first started with Beachbody, I had so much energy about it. There was no selling Shakeology. I shared it. Like it helped me feel this, Like I just could do it because I genuinely believed everyone needed it. And unfortunately, times have changed, right? Like regardless of what happened over the decade, like that's not where we are anymore. And I lost a little bit of that excitement and that energy, and there wasn't anything new. And as I just spent the last 24 hours talking the ears off of literal hundreds of people, I have come to that same excitement level. Like you are going to love these products. Like when you understand what they can do for your body and how they're going to make you feel and it can help your family, like you will be sold. So I think like, I just want you guys, I know it's like, but we're body partners, but we're coaches. Like you aren't. What I've come to realize as I've had conversations with my clients over these last few days, the response from all of them has been, we're with you. Like we like the workouts. Like one girl messaged me, so like, what kind of shake do we drink now? She doesn't even know. I haven't even sent her a Hugh and Grace link. She was my very first partner that was not a family member 10.5 years ago. Never built a business, never did anything with it, but loyal as all heck. And she never did a Facebook group. None of you would know her. She texted me this morning. So, I mean, I saw the news. What do we drink? Like you tell me. And what I realized is the people, they followed us. We shared our stories. We worked out. We inspired them. We motivated them. But at the end of the day, they were tied with us. And now we get to take it and we just get to help them in a new way. We're older now than we were when we started working out, drinking shakes. That was cool. And that was great. And I did it. It's awesome. But I'm older, I'm wiser, I know better, and I can do better. And we're all in a position where we can now help women go about this life in their health and do it in such a different way. So clearly I get really excited about it. I feel like we are hands down, like to be under you, Kaylee. Like I even said to people, there was no question. Like people were like, what's everyone doing? I never wavered. There was never a ponder to another company. There was never a who else is at Hugh and Grace, who might go to Hugh and Grace that I could go with. There was never a question. I was like, it's Kaylee. Her knowledge, her experience, her willingness to share with me over the last several months, just as, I mean, before I ever bought anything, I would ask her hormone questions and she'd answer. Because again, when it comes down to it, it's the people. Like you're joining with people, you just happen to be buying products that somebody earns an income from.
Yeah,
So
Sarah Jensen, our CEO, you guys will meet her and love her. First of all, there's just something different about working for a female. I will say that. And it's like nothing against anybody. I'm not like being derogatory. It's just there's something different about working with a female CEO. And she said this to me on a call this morning. She's like, I was in this room in this huge meeting for health and wellness brands, and they were speaking about what it takes to be successful in today's demographic. And it was like, you need more than the best product. You need more than a heartfelt purpose and mission. You need more than a story of like why this product or why this mission. You need a community of women. And like, this was literally like the research on how do companies stand out in today's economy. And it's like, you will not be a successful brand if you don't have a community of women behind you. And that's like what we've always created. And I think that's what we're good at. I would say like, I am terrible at sales. If you just give me something that I don't believe in and tell me to sell it, I could not do it. But I still feel like even though I don't run groups, I'm building a community. Like I message with my people, they email me, they'll text me, they send me DMs. Like we're still a community and we're in contact. And, like our team, we do have a team page. Like I do have a group for my team and, we travel together and we do all these things, we do calls, and we've still built a beautiful community here. And like that, will never be lost on me. That's always going to be part of the equation.
I love it. All right. Well, I will share the recording. I know, Sylvia, you missed the beginning. You'll love the first 20 minutes as she talks about all the other supplement stuff. But as you guys go, if you have questions for me, shoot them over. Kaylee, thank you. I'm sure we'll be talking lots here in the coming days. So stay tuned. More to come. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.